Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Smilly here with a quick Force of Will deck tech, whatever you want to call it. It's just a little quick deck that I like. It's fun. It's a desk toy. It's not really good. You're not gonna win any tournaments with it. If you like playing, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, if you like playing those old Exodia decks, you know, where you take a lot of turns, or not take a lot of turns, but you take a long time trying to build your hand, draw Exodia, and then just win the game after that. Or if you play a Magic player and you liked playing Storm, where you try to get to the group shot and then you just hit them for the game. This deck is a lot like that, except you're not using a lot of spells. This deck is you're using a lot of creatures and spells. Creatures are your main enablers that will help you get to the combo. You'll get infinite mana, infinite draws, infinite damage, and infinite untaps, which is how you get those things. So, Green Dragon is the main ruler. You can't really change this ruler because it has the effect that whenever you use Wind Resonance, one of your target resonators gets the ability to produce any color it will, which is really good. Resonance, for those who don't know, is whenever you call a Wind Magic Stone or a Wind Magic Stone enters your battlefield, you activate the effect. So I'll explain it to you in finer detail, but first let's get on with the deck. We run 4 copies of a little red, the fairy tale of air. Alright, so what she does is she gains 100 for each magic stone you control, and she has swiftness as long as you control non-special Wind Magic Stones. So basically, if you're mono green, which this deck is, then she's gonna have swiftness. That's all you really use her for. You can actually get infinite attacks with her. It is a way to win, but it's not what you want to do. If you fizzle, but you still have infinite something, you can win with that. Or if you can get her enough, you can win with a bunch of beat sticks. She will be 6/6 by the time you go for the combo, so you're gonna need quite a bit of untaps in order to win. Now, the reason this deck works, Salif, she also has resonance with Wind Magic Stone. Anytime you call a stone, you recover her. So how it works with Dragon is, what you can do is you can tap for a stone, and then the triggers, the stone comes into play, and then the triggers for these two resolves in which order you like. So what you do is you make it so that this gets the ability to produce will first, and then the ability to recover is on the chase. Then you tap it for will, whichever color you're gonna need at the moment, and then the effect will recover because calling for will doesn't resolve chase. Your opponent can't really chase to it, and then it gets recovered. They can chase to the trigger and stuff, but yeah, this deck will fall apart if your opponent has anything. So you just gotta hope. That's why it's a glass cannon. 3 Divine Bird of Atrocia. It's basically a cantrip. You can use it as a chump blocker, and basically, if you do not have Fairy Tale Magic of Air, it's basically a way to set up your combo and bring out Faria and get infinite mana. It's basically a secondary little red, but without swiftness, which is not great, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Run 4 copies of Rubalesta. This is one of your main enablers. So what he does is you get your Magic Stone gain barrier. That part doesn't matter. He gains 100 for each different Magic Stone you control. That part again doesn't matter. But the part that does matter is when he enters the battlefield, you get to sack your stones, any number of them, and then bring them onto the battlefield. Basically, if you have 3 stones, you sack 3 stones, and then you bring out 3 more stones, and then they all trigger resonance. And then you basically get Wind Dragon and Salif. Salif gets more untaps. Guardian lets you make more guys into will dorks and make more will, and it basically gives you more combos. It lets you continue your combo. Cane is how you do infinite damage. just tap and deal damage 200 to your opponent. Stargazer is how you draw. How you draw cards. If you have infinite will already, then this does not a problem. You just draw cards. Everything else is a cantrip, or mostly everything else is a cantrip. And this is how you make everything be able to attack and activate their effects on your turn, or like immediately. You want to give her swiftness as fast as possible, and she'll be able to give your other guy swiftness. You'll be able to untap her, so you'll be able to give everyone swiftness. So they'll be able to do their actions immediately when they come to the build. You run 4 cloning magics. You only really need one of them to initiate the combo, but you want to see this card, so that's why you're running 4. Also, it draws a card, and what it does is target resonator gains the ability. If it were to use a startup ability, you get to copy the spell, copy the ability, and choose new targets. That goes well with other cards. You can use it for these 3, but you're not really going to. You can use it for the last card I'm going to show you. 4 copies of this. I didn't run this, but now this deck fizzles a lot, so this gets you the combo. It's going to get you the last card I'm going to show you, and which is going to win you the game, or which helps you win the game. Basically gets you the Swiftness, Resonator, or Group Ballista, or whatever you need at the moment. This card's not bad, and it's just for 1 Heart Will. If you're using Torrent, which is basically combo if you play Hearthstone, or you just, yeah, it's basically 1 Heart Will if you played a card beforehand. 4 Rewriting Laws, basically a free draw card, and your wills can be used for whatever will you want. So it doesn't restrict you to only your resonators from this effect. So it's a good card. It's a free draw. Again, another cantrips. I run 4 Perseus call to actions. This is how you give your guys swiftness, or this is how you give your 1 drop that gives everyone else swiftness, from Vingolf or Valkyria Chronicles. Clarissa, so you give your Clarissa swiftness. Use her to make your things be able to give actions during your turn, and then you're gonna draw a card. Normally you want to save this for Clarissa, but if you have to use it, yeah, just go for it. Go for it. And 4 copies of Magic Baton. This is all you do. This is all you do. Infinite recoveries. You tap for stone, and then you tap this for to tap someone else, or to recover someone else. And then you're gonna, if with cloning magic, you get to recover 2 guys. If you have 2 of these on one guy, and 2 of these on one guy, one of them is cloning magic, and yeah, so 1, 2, and this. Let's say this. Yeah, let's say this has been cloning magicked, and this hasn't, and this can produce will. You tap this for will, tap this to untap this to produce will, tap this for will, tap these 2, tap for will, tap this to recover this, and it's infinite. Magic stones, 20 magic stones, simple as that. You don't need anything else. Alright, so that's it. Fun deck. I think it's pretty cheap, like 40 bucks, maybe less, maybe more, but nothing, it's not 100. So it's a really fun deck. It's like a desk toy, so if you want to try it, go for it. Alright, Smiley, see you guys later.